Hello, everyone. Granny again. We're continuing on with our series on Sebastian Rogers. Where is he? For those of you who don't know, he is a missing 15-year-old autistic male. He'll be 16 in December of this year. He went missing from his parents' home, his mother and stepfather's home, from Hendersonville, Tennessee, in the late hours of February 25th, early morning 26th of this year. It's going on 8 months now. Today is October 23rd of 2024, and we don't have any idea where Sebastian is. There is no evidence that he ever left the home. He just vanished. Sebastian has dirty blonde hair, brown eyes. He's 5'5", weighs 110 pounds, and he wears square framed glasses. Couple of interesting facts about Sebastian. He doesn't like to be barefoot. He doesn't like bugs. He doesn't like to be dirty. He has trouble making friends. He has trouble with social interactions. His favorite song is "Eye of the Tiger," and his favorite color is green. So if you know, if you if you see something, say something, call 833-TELL-DOG or 1-800-TBI-FIND. No tip is too small. There's a $125,000 reward for Sebastian. So we started yesterday on an interview with Chris and Katie and Dutchess. It's actually the second interview that Chris and Katie have done with Dutchess. The first one was on the 3rd of March, and this one took place on the 17th of March. So we're going to continue on where we left off from yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you, and we'll get started because I think there's about an hour left of this. So let's go ahead and get started.
Fart says, I wonder if Sebastian knows how to connect his switch to Wi-Fi. Like, had he ever done that before?
No, ma'am. He does not have the ability. We have the Wi-Fi locked down, so you have to request to join it, and then that request has to be approved by us. But his switch actually has parental controls on it set forth by his mom.
Okay. And Vet Girl RWB.
Rules at his house? Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Does he have the same rules at his dad's house?
No, ma'am. I don't believe so. We respect, like, what he does at his dad's house is under his dad's roof. We do stay in communications as far as like his behavior. Hey, this is what's going on. This is the punishment he's received. It's up to you if you want to continue that at your house, vice versa. It's like I said, there's 3 of us, and we are extremely respectful toward one another when it comes to Sebastian. You'd be surprised. It's not like it's a tug of war game. It's very, very cooperative among all 3 parents.
Okay.
Did Sebastian want to live with his dad?
Say again, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Was Sebastian excited about living with his biological dad?
Well, that depends on what day you ask him, to be honest with you. There's days he was and days he wasn't. I mean, like I said, when a kid gets in trouble, I don't like you. Well, I'm sorry. And then an hour later, he, like, nothing happened. So like I said, it's up or down.
Okay.
And I'm seeing this in chat, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask, is there a particular reason that you laugh before you answer a question? I've got my thoughts on it, but I think it would be better if you just told me.
That's fine. There are some questions that when people ask, I have heard these questions so many times. As much as people are on social media and they read the responses, I still get the same questions. So It's tiresome, but you know what? I told everybody I would answer the questions. So yeah, in a way, it's kind of funny that I keep getting the same questions over and over and over. But like I've told everybody, I respect them. I will answer them.
Okay.
But trust me, by any means, is this fun? No. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy at all.
Artie, do you have a question before I read Vet Girl's next question?
I think he's muted.
Okay. Go Bulldogs. Katie is there with Chris, but if she wants to speak, she will speak. But
Yes,
thank
she
you.
is.
Vet
I
Girl
do got a
RWD.
question though, about the
wait,
shoes.
I think we have a delay, Crystal,
Sorry.
because it's okay.
I think we do.
Let me ask this question real
How
quick.
many shoes did Sebastian have?
Say it one more time.
How many pairs of shoes did Sebastian have?
Oh, well,
I'm not going to tell you how many shoes he has, but I will say that all of the shoes he has are accounted for.
did y'all catch Mom?
I
It
didn't
broke
quite
up a little
hear.
bit for me. Did you hear?
Okay, I don't know if you guys heard Katie's response. She said, I'm not going to tell you how many shoes he had, but I will tell you that all of his shoes are accounted for. I don't know about you guys, but I don't understand why she wouldn't tell everyone how many pairs of shoes he had. What difference does that make? I don't know, if you don't know, then you don't know, or I don't think that that would be anything that law enforcement would say to keep quiet. I don't know. I mean, I'd be shocked if that were the case. Um, but why wouldn't she tell people how many pairs of shoes he had? I don't get that. I don't get that. Um, I had 2 teenage daughters at one point in time. And if they asked me that question, I have to say I might not know that answer. My girls were big into clothing. Um, and I remember, like, my oldest, she had different colored shoes to go with different colored outfits. If she had gone missing, I unless there was a pair of shoes that stood out to me that was not anywhere to be found, I probably wouldn't be able to say how many, right? So I don't understand her response to that question is all I'm saying. I don't understand why she won't answer that. That's a little sus, in my opinion.
Okay. She said that she would not divulge how many pairs of shoes he has, but law enforcement has accounted for every pair of shoes.
I have accounted for all of his shoes.
Okay. Can Vet Girl says, can you ask what Sebastian's normal school night routine is? Like some kids like to have their shower or a favorite blanket, their favorite pajamas. Please and thanks.
Sure. Sebastian comes home, gets off the school bus, comes in the house, does his chores, completes his homework, um, eats dinner. That time kind of varies. I don't have a set time on that. Bedtime, we normally have it right around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Sebastian gets a shower most of the time before he goes to bed, around 7 o'clock ish.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like I said, he's in the bed by 9 o'clock.
And Sebastian didn't have anyone that lived in the area that he hung out with at all that lives near you.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Alicia P, for that question. And then Alan Tank says, what's Sebastian like with people outside the family that he doesn't know? Is he shy with strangers? Is he outgoing?
So that question you asked earlier in the podcast, it depends. Each day it kind of varies. He can be shy. He can be talkative. With most kids, he don't hold back when it comes to kids. He is like, he's got a up close and in your face kind of thing that he's got to work on. So it kind of makes it difficult. With adults, it depends. There are some days he doesn't even want to talk to family members, and some days he may. It just kind of depends.
Okay. And hang on one second. I'm just getting to the next one. Arctic, did you or Crystal have a question that you wanted to ask?
No, I really want to make sure that the audience has a chance to get all their questions in.
Yeah, I'm going through each one of them right now. Some of them have already been asked, so I'm not asking those. Let's see. Alan Tank says, does Katie look in on him if she gets up to use the bathroom or anything in the night usually?
Not normally. I've never really had a whole reason to. I mean, now that he's older, at least. He gets up in the middle of the night and he comes in and gets snacks and, the dogs don't even bark at him because he shushes them and they know him. But, no, I've never, since he's gotten older, I don't really have a reason to like peek in on him and wake him up.
And does he get up and down normally throughout the night on a regular basis? True Crime Cafe with Dago ask.
It honestly,
Yeah.
he gets up and down at different times, different nights. I mean, not always. Um, he goes in the kitchen and he'll sneak snacks and sweets and things he knows he's not supposed to be having, like typical kids do. But for the most part, that may be about it. And then he goes right back to his bedroom.
Okay. Bobby James asks, can Chris comment on why you are threatening lawyers about the bio dad's GoFundMe?
So the conversation of that is not threatening the bio father with attorneys. That conversation that flew out between me, the father was in the house, his sister was on the phone. We asked them to take that down. That goes back to one of the questions as far as one of the things we all agreed not to do, because even with law enforcement, it says it could portray a bad look. So we all agreed not to do it. She did it anyways. And then we asked her politely to take it down first time. She got nasty with us on the phone. And then I retaliated and I told her, I said, if this causes harm to our son, you can bet I will call an attorney.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. Let's see. Was Sebastian playing with one of his devices online or on his Switch before he went to bed? Annabelle Roma asked.
None of his devices are connected to online.
Okay. All right. And Kiko asked, was he having trouble at school with anyone? Or was he being bullied that you're aware of?
Not that we know of. The administrators that work with him are honestly pretty great, and they try to pay attention and be aware, not only for Sebastian, but all of those kids. So they do their best to make sure that everyone's treating them respectfully and vice versa. Not to say that, kids are kids, but for the most part, they feel pretty confident that they do a pretty good job at taking care of the kids.
Okay. And Ginger Snaps wants to know, how long did it take him to take out the trash? Could he have met someone when he was taking out the trash?
Only a couple minutes.
Our driveway's not very long. I think our driveway might be 50 feet, maybe 75 feet long, and that's from front to back.
Okay, and guys, we're approaching midnight, so I'm not going to be able to take very many more questions because I still have a few that I need to get to. So I may not be able to get to all of your questions, but the ones that I've already been submitted from this point on, I'm going to try to get to. I see there's a lot of questions that we've already answered. So,
Chris, has
'cause of
George's devices been took?
Say again, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
The devices in the home, have they all been looked at by law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am, they have. And I believe if they go and look in that TBI news link that I was talking about, it may be listed as Amber Alert updates or something of that nature. There's a section in that news article that does talk about technology, and that should be able to answer those questions. But to answer yours, yes, everything has been thoroughly looked at in our house as well as the father's house, excuse me.
Okay, and where's Summer 1-800-TBI Find ask, did Sebastian have bad meltdowns with any anger? With the meltdowns that that he had recently, being this age now?
I mean, I don't know what you call a bad meltdown. I mean, was he a violent kid? No. Did he cry? Did he have a temper tantrum? Yes.
Okay. And he did take his eyeglasses with him. They were not found, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And True Crime Cafe with Dago said, with all due respect, was he anxious one way or the other to be moving in with his bio dad?
Like I said before, yes. I mean, he was ups and downs about it. There was days he was happy, days he's not. One of the things I'll tell you right now that he doesn't like, his dad's a smoker. He doesn't like that his dad smokes. So, I mean, he's like, no, I don't want to because my dad smokes. But after you talk with him, that's not a valid reason not to be moving in with his father.
Someone asked, Happy Hemp Creations, how do you redirect any meltdowns that he has?
Depends on who he's with. Every parent handles him very much differently.
Sometimes you can just give him a pressure hug with light squeezing and talk to him calmly and calm him down. And other times you can tell him to go to his room because that's his space, and tell him to take 5.
I mean, there's times where me and him go outside and we'll have a discussion. Like, tell me what's on your mind, dude. I give you free reign. Talk to me. Let it out. I don't care what it is. Just say it. If that's what helps you, say it.
Because he doesn't want to say a curse in front of Mama.
Yeah, he that's one thing he's been good about. Is like, look, don't ever do it in front of your mama. That's all I'm asking. But if you and I go out somewhere and you want to do it, I'll give you
Give him
no consequences. I'll give you some time to do your thing. And he does it. He'll cry. He'll get all of his thoughts and his feelings out, and he'll cry, and then he'll give me a big old hug and say, I'm sorry and I love you. We hug it out. I'm like, it's all right, buddy. Trust me. Everybody's got to have an outlet.
what we tell him. Like, if you need to yell and scream or be angry, just say, I need a minute to do that. And then, whatever you say during that time frame, you don't get in trouble for it. And if you got to curse, you got to curse, but only when you're doing the free time. That way it sets a limitation so that he's not just, free balling all the time with curse words.
When he's with his father that I know of, that we've all discussed, they'll go fishing. They like to do a lot of fishing, and that's where he has his moments with his dad, and they have their discussions. So I mean, like I said, it varies with each parent.
Okay. David Bryant sent a super chat and he has a question, and I'm not sure why this even applies, but I'm going to ask it. David Bryant says, CP said, let questions fly. So, Katie, did you have an active dating profile at the time Sebastian went missing? Any sort of dating profile? I'm not sure.
I don't actually have a problem answering that. I've never had a dating profile.
I hope that helps, David Bryant. And then True Crime Cafe with Dago says, how often does your daughter get to visit Chris? Respectfully, I've seen a lot of comments in this chat tonight saying that you did not want your daughter and Sebastian to be around each other. And I'm just not sure where that's coming from. Can you talk to me about that?
Sure, I got no
Okay.
problem. So I have a
Okay.
parenting plan with my ex-wife. I get her every other year on spring breaks. I get her in the summers. And I get her, like, we split the Christmas time frame.
Okay.
My parenting plan is very much like the mom's with her ex-husbands. The only difference between the two is he lives here. So, and we have a great relationship with each other. So it's easy to be like, hey, can I help you this weekend? Sure, man, whatever. It's not like it's turmoil between everybody.
Okay, because I was noticing that there were comments saying that the reason Sebastian was going to live with Seth is because your daughter is coming to move in with you and that you don't want your daughter around Sebastian. And I just wanted to get clarification on that.
Whoever feels or believes, if you've got proof of that, please show it to me. I'll be happy to address it, but I'll tell you right now, I don't have custody of my daughter like that. I wished I did. Sebastian going to his father's has nothing to do with my daughter at all.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
You're welcome. I will say, like, everybody out there, thank you for the questions. I'm glad that we can help clear some of this out. I've told everybody online, like, look, I'm respectful, I'm direct, and I'm brash, but ask a question, I'll get to them and I'll answer them the best of my ability. There are thousands and millions of people, but there's only 3 of us, and we are doing our best to being able to address people as we can.
Okay. And the reason I was asking, because Alicia P had made the comment, the problem is you're seeking custody of your daughter. And if you don't want Sebastian around your daughter, just how was that going to work, Chris? Because now Sebastian is missing. That's why people want to know. So that was why I asked.
No, I understand. And I can see where people's correlations are trying to put 1 and 2 together. Unfortunately,
Right.
it's 2 different puzzles.
Okay.
My case with my ex-wife, that is a whole totally different situation. At some point, eventually, I can let that out. Right now, that's still in an ongoing court battle. And to be honest with y'all, because of all of this with Sebastian, it has actually caused some issues in that court case, which unfortunately it is what it is. And hopefully I'll have some good news and I'll let you guys know. Hopefully something here soon.
Okay.
Chris, can it be verified that you were in Memphis?
Yes, very much.
Okay, that last question about Sebastian and his daughter, he didn't really answer. And I can understand people were putting things together, and it. I don't know where that started. If Chris said that to somebody, or because he's been in chats, on podcasts. He's been in chats, and so I don't know if he said he didn't want Sebastian around his daughter, or just how that all started. I don't know. So I am not going to say that that's a fact, because we don't know that. We don't know what the situation is between Sebastian and Faith. Um, there have been rumors, there have been innuendos, suspicion, but I, you know, unless Sebastian is with Faith, and I doubt it, I really think that whole situation really doesn't have anything to do with Sebastian being missing. It's my opinion.
Very much.
What is law enforcement allowing you all to do to look for Sebastian?
We're doing everything we can.
Anything we can, as long as it does not hinder the investigation. So if people want more specifics, we've got flyers that are going out anywhere and everywhere we can put them out. We actually were able to get some yard signs, kind of like the signs that go in the yard for kind of like real estate agents. We got some of
Yeah.
those missing. We got those put out, spread through all out the state. Some in different states itself: Alabama, Mississippi, a few in Kentucky, all the way up to Louisville. I believe we even got some down in Georgia.
We have flyers that we've put out.
Flyers. We got flyers that travel throughout various states. Billboards throughout the entire state of Tennessee. I can tell you that I've seen 7 from Nashville to Memphis that I can confirm.
But we're also out and about.
But we do have, we are like feet on the ground looking. We're constantly trying to think of different ways. We're reaching out in various positions, and people might be able to bring something to the table that we don't know about. There are some companies out there that are amazing.
And foundations that work with missing children. We've been reaching out to them as well.
Yeah, I know that you've been working with the Aware Foundation. I do a lot of work with them. So,
Well, them and EquiSearch, the National Center, the Class Foundation, just to name a couple.
yeah, the Class Foundation is a great foundation. I did want to let you know that if you reach out to Lamar Media, they're a billboard company, and sometimes they will provide free billboards for children that are missing too, if you reach out to them.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll definitely get that looked into.
And I did
got-
send you that link, Katie, but I will send it again to you after the live stream to make sure that you have it.
Individually, what do you all think should happen to the person if somebody abducted Sebastian?
That is not for us to determine. That is, if somebody has Sebastian, all I'm going to say is that is nothing that we want to be a part of until that is legal. That is law enforcement agency. That has nothing to do with us. We just
They go to jail, so I don't.
mom's saying she better hope they go to jail.
Well, I will
agree
say
with
what
you.
I think should happen. I think that their ass needs to be passed around the jail like a goddamn honey bun.
Well, I mean, trust me. I have my own personal opinions, but
All I have to say is they better pray they go to jail before I get my hands on them if I find out someone's hurt my baby.
all
Very
I'm going
good
to say is
point.
we have a legal system, and let them go through that aspect of it. And in the end, karma has a name. It will come around and show its face, and eventually they will have to answer for what they've done.
Truecom Cafe with Dago said, are there any abandoned or empty homes in your area close to you?
There's a construction, another subdivision that's building right next door to our subdivision. All of those houses and everything over there have been thoroughly searched. Um, I couldn't tell you how many times over our entire subdivision has been scoured. Our neighbors, everybody around us has opened their homes willingly, and worked with law enforcement. So, I mean, barns, everything got checked.
I
I
did
don't
have
think so.
one. I did have one question. Um, I saw where a dog had tracked Sebastian sent to a construction site. Have they dug that site up to see if there was any sign of Sebastian there?
The law enforcement and every search agency and everybody that's been involved has scoured that place up and down, in and out. There was a pond that was mentioned, a retention pond. It was only knee deep. They did drain it, and they have found nothing.
That reminds me of another question. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I know you've already answered that they took your devices. The computer and stuff that Sebastian used at his biological dad's, did they take that as well?
Yes, ma'am. Everything has been completely between both households. Everything has been extremely thoroughly scanned, reviewed, everything.
Okay, well, that's good to know. They took the devices from his bio dad's house too.
And if
Um,
they want to come back and get more devices, we, like I said, we've opened this house up to everything. If they want it, they come and get it. There's no hesitations, and off they go.
Okay. And you and Katie have been out to do some searches yourself and hang up flyers. Is that true? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, we have. We've gone out numerous places and hung up flyers. We've gotten with motorcycle chapters and groups and gotten them on board to help us. We've gone from various cities to cities. Um, I personally have gone from Nashville to Memphis and into Mississippi and back.
And did they also take the devices from the school as well that Sebastian may have used when you said they took all the devices from your house and from the bio dads? Did they also take the school devices as well to look at?
Sebastian didn't have devices that he had at school.
Hmm.
But anything and everything, if he had something, has already been scanned and thoroughly searched. And like I said, if you refer back to that TBI news link and the technology proportion, I believe all of that will answer all those questions.
Okay. All right. And Karen S. said, your dogs barked during your first TV interview. Wouldn't they have barked when Sebastian walked out the door?
No, because they know Sebastian. When they barked in the first interview,
Because a stranger was in the
a
house.
stranger was in the house.
They've been sitting right here the entire time.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said there was, they had asked you if there was any flashlights that were missing, and that prompted you to go look. Tell me about that. There was some
So,
questions about the flashlight, so I just wanted you guys to reiterate that.
right. So Sebastian had it's about a little 3 inch. If you think about the little keychain flashlights, that you used to find at vendor tables they give out for free, cheapies.
Local festivals.
It was something that he picked up at one of the local festivals, and to right now, we still to this date cannot find it. So we are assuming that he took it with him because it cannot be found.
Okay. And how often does law enforcement update you guys?
Very regularly.
Okay. And Chris Black says, what about the initial press release where it was said that Sebastian liked to stay up late?
I don't remember hearing that,
I
but
don't either, but I just wanted to put that out there because I thought maybe I missed something.
well, I mean, if he, like I said, we said earlier, he's a typical teenager, so he will get up in the middle of the night. He, it's hard to say. I personally don't remember that being said in the interview, and I'm sorry. And I'm not doubting it, but I mean, he's a typical teenager. He'd get up, go get snacks, and go back to his room. So,
He did regularly get up at night.
Mom's saying he regularly got up at night.
Where Summer wanted to know, what's Sebastian's favorite food, drink? Is it ice cream, chips?
He is a
Anything with sugar in it.
Anything with sugar.
favorite drink is probably a Yoo-hoo.
No, he take chocolate milk over Yoo-hoo.
Oh well, okay. Well, chocolate drink, chocolate milk.
As
Yeah.
long as it's not the fat-free chocolate milk that the school switched to, because he's really upset that the school switched the chocolate milk to fat-free, and now he doesn't like it.
Who did Sebastian love the most out of everyone?
Okay. I don't know how you want to how I'd answer that.
One day me, one day
I mean,
Chris,
he
one
may
day
not have had.
Dad. 5 minutes later, I mean, it just depends on when you ask him.
I mean, if I let him do what if I take him and go do something cool, oh, I'm the hero, But when I'm getting on to him, Mom's the hero. When Dad takes him fishing, Dad's the hero. So I mean, he's got 3 parents that love him equally.
He's loved and loves all his parents. I mean,
That question was inappropriate. What do you guys think? Who does Sebastian love the most? Come on. That was just mean. And I don't blame Chris for saying, okay, but they answered it well, it depends on what's going on and who he's with, right? Who made him happy this day, right? I mean, even if there was one person that he really did love more than the other two, it's not something you're going to say. That was a very inappropriate question in my opinion.
but I mean, we all have our moments when we're not his favorite too. I mean, he's a kid.
And True Crime Cafe with Dago says, has anyone else in the family ever threatened to have Sebastian removed or anything like that?
No.
Okay. And does loud noises or certain smells bother him? Just curious, if law enforcement approached him with sirens, will he run or melt down?
He doesn't like loud noises, but they've known about that from the beginning. So, like, if it's a song he likes, he can turn the volume up, but like fireworks, he can't stand that kind of noise. So, he does have a sensitivity to sudden and loud noises mostly.
Okay. And it said that he likes to hide in small places. Small places, can you give me an example of like what, where, like how small? Can you elaborate on that for us?
So he has a closet in his bedroom. And I mean, it's not a small closet, it's a good sized closet. He will get over and tuck into a corner in his closet
And play with his toys.
when he's playing with his toys or he's doing something he knows he's not supposed to.
There's always a pile of Legos in the corner.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like this boy was going into a 2 by 2 by 2 space and hiding. I mean, he'd like to be in a secluded area.
Okay. Let's see. Beautiful Sunflower says he said earlier he had his reason, and they all agreed it was best that Sebastian not be around his daughter, and now he says that wasn't the issue. Um, I'm confused by this statement. I guess I must have missed a part of that.
Well, to clarify what he said that he didn't have custody of his daughter, so that wasn't going to be an issue in regards to Sebastian going to live with his dad. That's not the reason why Sebastian was going to live with his dad, was so that his daughter could come and live with them.
Thank
Right. I guess I'm confused by some of these questions because I feel like it's, been answered. Let me see here. Some of these questions we have already discussed. So,
I can say this much. There are some screen names that I'm going to say sound familiar, and I'm not going to swear on it. They sound very familiar of people I've
mhm,
addressed on Facebook.
okay.
The sunflower one, I'm not going to say, I'm not swearing 1,000% on this, but I believe I've chatted with her, and she
Okay.
asked me why I will not go and talk to JLR. First off, if this is the same lady that I've
Okay.
addressed, I am not going to people um, to go to a YouTube channel for somebody to make some money on, or I'm not seeking them out. If they want to talk to me, they know how to get in touch with me, just like everybody else.
Here she is, right
Our,
here.
our ultimate goal in the end is to bring our son home.
Thank you for clarifying that, beautiful Sunflower. She said, I'm speaking of prior to his second time answering that question. He changed the answer, but it's okay. I appreciate you explaining that to me. I just didn't want to mess that up. However you were wording that question, I wanted to make sure I was being clear about what I was asking. And by the way, guys, at midnight, I cut the questions off because I don't want to keep them here all night. So, but the questions that were submitted before that, we're going to wrap those up. And if Chris is willing, we can always come back and do a part 2 if there's other questions that you feel like didn't
Dutchie,
get answered.
Dutchie,
Yes,
um,
ma'am.
you got dragged through the mud for this question, so I'm going to ask it.
Okay.
How long have you and Katie known each other?
So my question to whoever's asking that is, what does that have to do with the investigation of our son?
There you go. That was, yeah.
I agree with his answer on that. Some people don't like that he didn't answer some of those questions, but his and Katie's relationship, Katie's and Seth's relationship, all that has nothing to do with Sebastian's disappearance. Our goal is to find Sebastian. This isn't free for all. And I'm not defending Chris. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm just stating facts here. He's right. How long he's known Katie has no bearing on Sebastian's disappearance. What does have bearing is Katie was the last one to see Sebastian. What happened? All right, so let's.
I did get people came for me because I didn't allow somebody to ask that question because I didn't think it was pertinent to Sebastian being missing. But
Well, I mean, it really has no pertinent to the investigation or the fact that our son is missing. But like I said, I'm respectful, I'm brash, and I'm direct to the point. To answer that person's question, I've been in Sebastian's life, half of his life. Sebastian's 15.
Right. I just appreciate you being willing to talk with us and answer these questions. Now we've talked about the video. I just have to ask, did you
Mhm.
guys happen to see the interview on the behavioral panel where they took a look at your and Katie's interview on the news?
I have not. I believe the mom
Okay.
has made some views of it. I personally have not.
I haven't watched it
Okay.
all. I haven't been online very much.
I
I think
understand.
I think since that has been out there, we really haven't done a lot of viewing of kind of that stuff. We've been out there busy doing flyers, posters, um, signs. I mean, just wow. But yeah,
Okay. Okay. And you said that he couldn't have gone out a window, that all of that was checked, and it did not appear that he had gone out a window. And do you guys have a lock on your refrigerator? I just wanted to put that to rest.
On the fridge?
oh, like on the refrigerator?
Yep, that's a
No.
question. Okay.
No. I mean, there's an alarm on the refrigerator when you leave the door open.
Yeah, I have one of those too that dings when you don't shut it all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that is, it looks like, there's a couple more questions. Some of the questions that are being asked are actually questions that we answered previously in the live stream. We did ask Chris a whole set of questions, and I just invite people to please be kind and rewind to listen to the questions that Chris and Katie were asked. And we just appreciate you guys taking the time to be here to talk about your son's disappearance and what you think may have happened, because this is a very scary situation. And we're 21 days into this. Now we're 22 days. This is, I just can't imagine in my mind where this young man could be. And you said to me, I think we had talked on a phone conversation, and we had talked about that construction site. And I did hear Seth on a interview state that the scent that the dogs picked up actually led to the outside of that construction site, which backs up to your neighborhood. What can you tell us? Can you tell us anything about the scent dogs and where they might have tracked to, and or anything of that nature? Is there any information that you need us to know about that?
Yes, there were tracking dogs. They did pick up a scent. And I couldn't tell you how many number of dogs because day one, I knew of 5 dogs. By day 8, we had dogs from across the country coming in from North and South Carolina, Kentucky, all over the place. So I don't know how many dogs, but the scent was picked up. It does go into the construction site, um, and then it disappears. So they don't actually know what happens. They just disappears.
Okay. If there was anything that you could say to Sebastian, or if there is someone out there who is with Sebastian, is there anything that you would want to say to them right now?
You mean if someone has my son?
Keep it PG.
I would say that this boy is loved and that he has a caring and loving home and that he belongs with us, with his family, with his parents. And that I'm never going to stop looking for him, and I'm never going to stop until we're able to bring him home.
For myself, Sebastian, we miss you. All three of your parents do. We all want you back home. As soon as you can, come home. If somebody has him, please return him. Don't hurt him. But we do want our son back. Please.
Where Summer said maybe someone's seen him playing outside. If he played outside, that's why I want to know if he played outside. Maybe someone's seen him.
Sebastian wasn't very much like he didn't go outside very much. Most of the time, all the neighbors will tell you that if they saw him, he was taking the trash out. Um, he may have cut the grass. Last summer, he cut the grass every so often, but we were always home. But he's not really the I'm gonna go outside just to go outside kind of kid.
He prefers to play inside.
Well, he prefers inside and playgrounds.
Yeah, he does love playgrounds.
Catherine, I don't see any comments being deleted. We're just not taking any more questions after midnight. I don't really see anyone that's been blocked or anything. But if you have a problem, you can always send me an email at duchessforthemissing@gmail.com and let me know.
I've got to address this. I have not heard this family one time say that he was put outside in the dark as a punishment.
Oh God, no, never.
Wait, somebody is saying that we would put our son outside in the dark as punishment?
Yeah, it was saying, so why put him outside in the dark as punishment? I've not heard that said. Sometimes when things are said like that, that's how speculation and rumors get started online. I've not heard him say that.
Who would do that?
Wow.
That is very interesting. Hey,
Early on, I heard that same rumor, and I think from what I remember, it started, somebody was saying, well, sometimes I've heard of people putting their child outside, locking him out until he behaves. And I think that all just ballooned from there like a rumor, as if Chris and Katie did this, and there's no factual basis behind it. So I just wanted to address that.
hey, Josh with the lab, thank you for being here. If there was a comment deleted, it may be because we asked for people not to discuss other creators in the chat. So if someone has mentioned another creator, we ask people not to discuss other creators in the live stream. So that comment may have been removed, but no one has been blocked
Well, I
that
believe.
I can tell. So,
Well, I believe looking at a comment here, Michelle Macklin and Beautiful Sunflower have got some comments up here saying that I brought up another group comment, which I did. Something that was in Trevor's and something about JLR. I did bring those up. So if I violated those rules, then I apologize. That was not, but I was just stating what
no,
I have
you're
seen that's
and,
out there and what has been brought to my
and you're
attention.
fine. And listen, if you want to talk to JLR, that is your prerogative. And if you don't want to talk to him, you're not required to. You don't have to be pressured into doing anything that you don't want to. If he reached out to you and you didn't respond to him, I mean, that's a personal decision for you to make. And I don't really have any particular stance on it. You're free to discuss with anybody that you feel like is going to help get the information out about your son. And that's why we're here, is to talk about Sebastian and to help get his information out there. We want to stick to the factual information because I don't think discussing things about your previous relationship or, making false accusations or just making assumptions that there aren't any facts to stand behind is helping to find Sebastian. When law enforcement tells me that somebody is a suspect or they give us more evidence to go on, then that's what I'm waiting for to happen.
It,
And
if
everybody has the right to their own opinion, and everyone's welcome to share their opinion as long as they're respectful. And that's all that I ask here on my channel. And the mods have their explicit rules and they know what to do, and and that's it. So
if you don't mind, if I could just say something,
sure.
um, everybody out there, they've all got their assumptions and their accusations and things of that nature. If you have proof, bring it to my attention. Show it to me. Please. I mean, and like I said, I'm direct, I'm brash, but I'm respectful at the same time. Um, it's not about biting people's heads off. What I will say that I don't appreciate is how folks out there want to drag in personal family business amongst all three parents, their side of the family, my side of the family. That has no bearing on our son. We're a family. It's big. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to have some dislikes. Every family out there is got the same, you know, working through them and becoming stronger as a family. That's what makes a family a family. You know, I don't mind people have their opinions. I don't mind their assumptions. You know, respectful. I'm going to give you the respect. You know, in the end result for every bit of this is the exact same: to bring our son home safe and sound. And that's all we're asking. We love y'all. We pray for y'all. We got thoughts. Even if you don't like us, trust me, we still got love for you. And sometimes your questions may sound far fetched, but believe it or not, it might be something that we could look at and say, hey, what about this? But it's not going on deaf ears. I promise y'all.
I did see a question just now that I was actually on my list to ask you, and it was when I had asked about what Sebastian was wearing, because people were saying, why are you just now saying that it's a long sleeve black t-shirt and not a black sweatshirt? And you guys had explained to me how that transpired and it didn't get changed. You had explained to them this is what he was wearing, but when they made the flyer, they put out the incorrect information, and that you had asked them to update it, but they didn't immediately. And a lot of people were saying, well, they didn't even know what he was wearing. Tell me about that.
So we gave the description to all the law enforcement agencies out there. They took it
And listed
and listed it.
Sure.
Now, keep in mind, let's think about the telephone game. You tell somebody something, they tell somebody something, it goes back, and by the time it comes back around to you, it is not what you initially started with. That is basically what happened. We told them verbatim was Sebastian went to bed wearing long black pants with white stripes down the side, um, a long sleeve shirt that had an image on the front, could have been of one of three things: Minecraft, Star Wars, or of Halloween depiction. His favorite three things. Now, somewhere along the way, that got changed, and somebody said it was a sweatshirt. Somebody said it was a hoodie. Somebody has said it's a t-shirt.
The initial description said sweatshirt, and I clarified that it was a long sleeve shirt.
Hi, Seth. Thank you so much for joining the chat. It's good to see you. I appreciate you being here. If you'd like to join us on panel, you're more than welcome to. We really just want to find answers, and we really just want to find Sebastian. And this channel is just a place for family members to be able to share any information, to clear up misinformation, and to get out the information to help bring their missing child or their missing loved one home. And I appreciate you being here. You have so many people that are praying for Sebastian, and we do have those billboards up, and we're going to hopefully maybe get another billboard up, maybe a third billboard. We've had so many wonderful people in this chat to support us keeping those billboards going for another week. And we're praying for all of you, because this can't be easy, and it's got to be very stressful. And all of these extra things that are going on can't really be helping. And Angela, you can express your opinions, but we will not allow people to just be harassing or to show blatant disrespect, doxing. We don't want people to talk badly about other creators. Those are just the general chat rules that are the rules that are on every live stream. And we just ask people to be respectful of that. And we appreciate you being here. So if it goes against any of those rules, the moderators are there to help you answer any questions and to keep the chat a safe and friendly place to be able to discuss this case. So I appreciate you understanding. Yes, there is too many missing in Tennessee, and it's very difficult for these families. It's got to be very difficult. I see Angel has a question. Why did Sebastian not go to his bio dad's house the weekend he went missing? Wasn't it his bio dad's weekend?
No.
Do you guys
Thanks.
want to comment?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're okay to comment. And if Seth is listening, he also can confirm this, that so they have it every other weekend. And the weekend that he went missing, that was not his weekend to be at his dad's house. He was actually supposed to be at mom's house.
Okay. I just appreciate you coming and speaking with us to, tell us if there's, to clear up things, because I've seen all kinds of things on social media, and, and Trev Time, I appreciate you and the lab being here. I just wanted to go through the questions, let the chat be able to ask their questions. And of course, Crystal and Arctic Fox had questions that they wanted to ask. And I just appreciate Chris and Katie being willing to try to answer some of those questions, although some of them I'm not sure have a direct impact on what's happening with Sebastian going missing. But I hope that it helps to clear up some of the questions that people have. I did also see that another creator had asked a question, and I think they said they actually sent you a message, Chris, because they wanted to know, when you first heard that Sebastian had gone missing, did it ever cross your mind that that Katie might have been involved? And
Absolutely.
I wanted you to
Well,
speak to that.
no, and that's fine. Absolutely not. I would not there's nothing in me, nothing I would ever think that the mother had anything to do with this, or the father for that matter. None of
Right.
his parents, any of us would have ever done anything to Sebastian to do this, remotely conjure up. No way. No. This boy has got so much love. That right there kind of hurts me a little bit, to think that somebody would think that I would suspect my wife of having ill intent, and that's no. No.
And I respect
Wow.
that. I respect that, Seth. I understand.
I I know that I watched this video before, back when it first came out. I do not remember that question being asked. It's rather bold. Um, what would you expect Chris to say? I mean, my goodness. I just cannot believe how bold people are that you would ask a man if he ever suspected his wife of being involved with her son's disappearance. I'm and he didn't I mean he was angry, I mean, at a little bit of anger in there, and rightfully so. Um Not like other times when we've seen him get really, really angry, but um rightfully so, that he would be defensive, but he also um defended Seth right there. So, you know, nothing bad to say about how Chris responded to that awful, awful question. That was horrific, guys. I can't even believe it was said.
And yeah, I think some of these questions are not about finding Sebastian either. But these are the questions that people are here and asking. So we just wanted to get through those and hopefully be able to put that aside so that we can focus on bringing Sebastian home. Terry Dean said, had Sebastian ever played or been interested at the construction site before?
No, he's never gone to that construction site. We have drove around the construction site in a car, but no, he's never been on foot. He's never wandered over there. Um, I mean, I understand where they're going with that, but no, unfortunately, there's not any chance that he would have that kind of interest. But then again, at the same time, dog scents were found in the construction zone, um, and then they disappear. I mean, it's hit or miss.
Okay. And you had told me that you both had, when you're able to, you get out there and try to do searches. You have been putting up flyers. Are you planning to continue to search in the future? Are you going to organize any type of search yourself to help find him? Because there's people in the chat that are wanting to come and help. So will you be letting people know if there's going to be any other organized searches for the community?
Yes, I mean, we're not opposed to that. Um,
Okay.
the father, Seth, he does that all the time. We go out and we we don't organize big groups. Um, to give you an example, like this weekend, somebody's like, "Well, you guys run your motorcycles." Well, yeah, we went to a motorcycle rally, a spring opener, passed out flyers. You'd be surprised on how far and wide the motorcycle community can pull together and spread that word. Dad, Seth has worked on it and his end up in Clarksville. He's got guys that he's working with. We have folks down here that we work with. Um, I mean, we help people want to help. I mean, we ask them, they're like, "Hey, I'm going out this far. Do you have flyers?" Sure do. We'll hand them a stack of flyers, and they're outgoing. Seth does his part of it, and trust me, it's an ongoing thing. If somebody wants to like try to put together an organized group, we're not opposed to it.
Trev, I just saw your comment and I wanted to say thank you. And we have some if you need them.
And Seth says he does like heavy equipment too.
Yeah, so a little quick story. I rented a mini excavator and needed to use it to do a project around the house. We were doing some landscaping, and I actually put Sebastian on the equipment, explained to him how this works and whatnot like this, and he actually was able to take the bucket and put it within inches of the foundation of the house and help pull out some of the root balls without ripping out the irrigation lines in the landscaping. So I mean, he's good at it. He's real good.
I appreciate that, Trev, Tom, for you to go out there and put up flyers. It really takes a team effort, and I appreciate everyone that is covering Sebastian. And Thought Criminal, I did see your post asking about the X, but I don't really think the X this doesn't really pertain to Sebastian missing. So that is the only reason why I haven't addressed that. Kinky Ad said, why not ask Katie if she suspected Chris? It's her bio son. And I think they just clarified that all of the parents agree. And of course, we do have Seth in chat. And you did say, Chris, all three of you agree that none of the parents are involved in the disappearance of Sebastian. Seth, if you want to comment in the chat, you certainly are free to speak and say whatever you feel. Katie, obviously you said you weren't even in town, but Katie, did you have anything that you suspected when this happened? Did you immediately say, well, I think so-and-so might have something to do with it?
Honestly, no. I mean, my husband was out of town and had been for a while, and even if he wasn't, I don't think for a second he would ever hurt him. And if his dad wanted him, he wouldn't have to take him. He'd just call and say, hey, I want to pick my son up. And I'd say, okay, what time? And, the only stipulation is that we don't miss school. So, I mean, I wouldn't have thought anything about that either because we have, our own differences, but that doesn't matter. When it comes to Sebastian, we're pretty good about, hey, I want to have him this weekend or I've got this thing going on. And like we juggle and change weekends sometimes if we've got something that we want to do or vice versa. So no.
Kinky Ad said, how did Katie not notice him in the kitchen when she didn't find him in bed, and then said she thought maybe he was making breakfast, that your room is by the kitchen?
Yes. But he liked to dip around walls and he did his little sneaky thing.
I understand. The lab said, did they say why they didn't go to the vigil?
Yes. So somebody asked me that before, and I responded on Facebook, and it's okay. So the very first vigil that was going on, and actually, I think I said there was three, and when that actually was four. They did a vigil down here at the stop sign inside of our subdivision. It was inside our neighborhood. Did a small one. At the time, we were still dealing with law enforcement, and we didn't go. Then the Long Haul Baptist Church down here on Long Haul Pike, they held one. At the time, we were still with law enforcement answering questions. All three parents were. We did have a representative go and speak on our behalf. The third one, which a young lady organized, and originally they were going to try to do something here in the community without discussing it with us, without talking with anybody. And all the neighbors had a concern because, like I said, it's a small community.
There's no parking.
There was no parking, so we addressed it to go to the high school, which they gladly moved it. But there were some security issues. We got with law enforcement. So the dad did show up. We did not. And then on this last one was up in Clarksville. And that's up in the Clarksville area. That's where dad lives. So, I mean, I think that was put on more for the dad and everything in his community up there, which supports him. But I mean, that answers that question.
True Crime Cafe with Dago says, could there be anyone out there at all that has ill will toward either side of the family? And then I did see someone right up above that say, well, Seth works, in law enforcement. Could this be something like that's coming back because he works in law enforcement? Do you have any thoughts on that?
No. No.
Terry Dean says parents in this situation are damned if they do and damned if they don't.
Amen.
Lab said, fair enough. Thanks for answering me. You're welcome, Josh. Thank you so much for dropping by. I appreciate it. I've kept you guys long enough, and I really appreciate you coming over on this live stream and being willing to have a conversation with us and being willing to answer these questions. So if you decide that you want to come back and answer some more questions, or please let me know. And we're going to continue to keep these billboards up as long as we can, and I'll continue to share information about Sebastian. And if there's anything that we can do, you have lots of people in this community that just want to help bring your son home safely. Please let us know how we can best support to your family. And that goes for you too, Seth, if you're out there listening. I can't imagine what you're going through, but just know that you have a lot of people out here that are praying for you and praying for Sebastian to come home safe. And I just want to thank you for your time. And I want to thank all of the members and the subscribers that donated. You really mean so much for being here and being willing to donate to keep these billboards going for Sebastian. And I just want to thank Miss Curvy and Amy in Boston, Stevie, Linda Williams, David Bryant, Devil Eyed Elvis, Go Titans 82. Thank you for multiple super chats, the 5 Canes. Thank you so very much. All of this is going to go to keeping Sebastian's billboard live for another week. And maybe we can have another conversation. I do have other things going on. I work during the week, but maybe we can schedule up something and get some more of these questions answered. If there's anything that we haven't covered, you can always send me an email, and you can always message me on Facebook Messenger if there's information that you need about this case. And it sounds like there's a lot of people that are local to you, Chris, that are very interested in Sebastian's case, that want to help search, that want to hang up flyers. And I think that's wonderful, because it really takes a village to be able to have people come together to help find a missing child. And we don't want this case to go cold. We want to be able to bring Sebastian home as soon as possible. So please stay in touch with me and let me know if there's anything that we can do to help. Is there anything you want to close out with, Chris, before you leave us?
Yes. Those that want to help, please feel free to reach out to me. You know, everybody finds me on Facebook. Send me a message. Like I said, there's thousands of people, and there's one or two of us. And Seth, he's not really on social media that much, but so we're trying to answer as much as we can. But we love you guys. Thank y'all so much. Our prayers and our thoughts go out to you and your families as well.
Thank you.
You're able to split this flyer and keep his face out there.
Absolutely. We will keep sharing his flyer, and we just encourage everyone that's watching this live stream, or that may be watching this live stream on the replay. If you see Sebastian's information circulating on social media, whether it's TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or on YouTube, please share that information out, because somebody might see Sebastian's face that doesn't realize that they have actually seen Sebastian, and they can be able to get that information and be able to call law enforcement to say that they have seen Sebastian's face. And this is the current billboard that we have running in 2 separate locations near Nashville. Endangered missing Sebastian Rogers. He is 15 years old. He is an autistic male. He is 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighs 120 pounds, missing from Hendersonville, Sumner County, Tennessee, If you have any information about Sebastian, please don't hesitate. If you see something, say something. Call Sumner County Sheriff's Office at 615 451 3838, or you can reach out to the TBI at 1-800 TBI Find. And thank you so much, September Virgo, for being a member for 4 months. And thank you so much for your beautiful gift that you sent me. You are such a wonderful friend, and I really appreciate you so very much. And Miss Curvy, thank you so very much. She says, praying that this sweet boy comes home and no drama delays the case. Advice, parents, pick what channels very carefully you speak on, okay? As a law advocate and bio dad in law enforcement, he knows this very well. Thank you, Miss Curvy. I really appreciate you, sweetie. And I will put this also towards Sebastian's billboard. That may take us into a second week. So I really appreciate that so very much.
Duchess, if you don't mind, I personally want to reach out and say thank you to all the viewers and all the questions. Doesn't matter what the question was or the comment was. Thank you.
So it's keeping Sebastian out there, and we're hopefully going to bring him home soon.
Yeah, Concern says they need boots on the ground. I have to agree. It seems like that if we just can get enough people on the ground, surely they're going to find something.
I would like to thank Chris and Katie for coming on and answering our questions, and for Seth for answering some in the chat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are very grateful for you being very transparent and just trying to offer up any information that may help bring Sebastian home safely. And we will continue to pray for your family and pray for Seth also. Please don't stop sharing Sebastian Rogers information, guys. Help bring Sebastian home by keeping his face out there. I hope we don't need the billboards that long either, Terry. I hope we don't. And I appreciate all of you being here. So, Chris, I'm going to let you go. I hope that you both get some rest. And hopefully there will be news this week. Stay in touch with me if there's anything you need. You've got my number.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all once again
Thank
for
you.
everything that y'all do.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
You're very, very welcome. And we'll chat soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Take care. All right.
Take care. Bye.
All right. So that was finally the end of that interview. And I don't know, what are your guys' thoughts? What were your thoughts? I thought there were some very difficult questions. I didn't see a lot of anger from Chris during this one. I thought he was very respectful. And Katie was very respectful. There was one point where it seemed like she was a little bit overcome. I think it was the part where she was talking about when she went into his room and he wasn't there. That she kind of hesitated. And of course, we can't see her, so we don't know what was going on there, but we can, we can only assume. And Seth was in the chat, so he didn't have a whole lot to say. But I don't know. How did it start out like this, guys, and then go so wrong? Because 8 months later, it's like all out war, and Sebastian's an afterthought, right? I don't know. Well, as far as this granny goes, Sebastian's not an afterthought. Sebastian is important. He is the heart of all of this, and so I'm asking everybody, please, please, please put his face out on social media. Put his name out there. Um, Light it up green for Sebastian, no matter where you live, because even if Sebastian doesn't see it, somebody will, and they'll ask you why you lit it up green. And then that's another person you can tell about Sebastian. We need to get that word out there. There are still a lot of people in the United States who do not know that Sebastian is missing. So let's get that word out there, guys. We're going to continue on with our series and watching interviews. And that'll be on the next video. We'll start a whole new interview. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel, and I really would love to have your help. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granny'scrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much.